Greetings and welcome back to Drasir TMD. My name is Drasir and you're watching Space Engineers with Rabenschild. So of course by now you guys know the drill, so let's go ahead and get this thing going.
Hello, Drasir. It's no waving. Otherwise, we get into a whole loop again.
It'll never stop.
Never. Good. We can. I think there's nothing more down there. I think we can just bring the whole thing back in. I'm still happy that you kind of see that the cool thing is the upper.
Oh wow! Look at it go.
That's a lot more interesting. That's more like it should be. The problem is now I need to hold it somewhere so that I can bring that back in again. Yeah, it's good that the whole pit thing still bugs you. I have the thing.
Yes, I'm looking forward to remedying my error.
It's not remedying your error. Again, I was really it was something I was thinking about where I thought, why is he? I don't understand. He's doing something there that I just was not. The thing is, I was asking myself if you had an idea there that I just was not aware of. So I was asking myself, maybe I have done something that is unnecessary or not the best way to do something. So I thought, I better ask him. Otherwise, I end up with something that might be done a lot better.
And I think honestly, it was just one of those things that I kind of got into my head. Oh, I could probably do it like this, and in typical me and or guy fashion, apparently I'm told that this is a frequent guy thing. Once I've had an idea, that's it. That's the idea, and there's no other way to do it. So
letting loose is it's a hard thing to do. I can understand that. I had 2 weeks now where I have dabbled with things that should work in certain ways, and people coming along and saying, maybe try this, try this, and it works this way. It was it just worked that way. And so I can completely understand that. The whole ordeal with the cargo and the whole ordeal with the VT miner was a crazy thing to do. Yeah, now the long way back to the station over there. It's now all the scripts have just set in. The solo script is working. The other scripts are working again. I will have to shut that all off again. So, but yeah, let us drive back and see what else we can talk about. Yeah, maybe you have something that you want to talk about or something. No, please don't get stuck in any doors.
No, I'm good. It's just that initial I'm not so sure if this is going to work out.
If this works, bringing up the whole thing again, now it rolls. The only problem that you will have with your thing is also that it's not. That's one thing that I really want to see when your thing goes out and drives to where it needs to be. I saw in the episode that able to drive it somewhere, but your thing is so big as well that the mining machine is so big as well that I kind of have the feeling maneuvering it on Earth will be a pain.
It's funny. I remember looking around after I had built it and thinking, I don't think this thing is ever going to leave this lake. I don't know if I can ever move it anywhere else.
I have the feeling you might end up with having it just on the lake, because Mars is in some areas really good to do that, because some areas are relatively flat. Relatively flat. You can see that here the hills are just nice rolling hills, no problem. But on Earth, not sure. But I don't know. Maybe you can work with. I don't know. I now you have said that. Making suggestions now is maybe a bit, but bring up the wheels higher, or work with torsion spring or something like that. There's a script out there that works, that makes rotors work like springs, where you can set up long arms for your wheels. That makes them, I don't know, maybe more able to drive over the crazy Earth.
Oh, that's right. And that's actually something that I did want to try at some point, because my eventual plan is to take a lot of what I've got, pack it all up onto a very large mobile base rig, and then drive away. But the only way that's going to work is if I can use a system that will keep the chassis itself fairly stable, but the wheels will be able to move, if that makes any sense. So I'm not even sure if it is possible, but I have heard of other people trying similar things, so it'll be interesting to see if it works out.
Having a stable platform could be...
I mean, it doesn't have to be, super stable, but just so long as it doesn't flip when it tries to go up a mountain or something.
Yeah. Maybe a hybrid or something. I'm not sure if having that thing not only have wheels but also thrusters. But yeah, the problem is for you have all these power restraints.
Yes.
So that's something that might make that not so ideal. Okay, now I have to move that thing back on its lockdown points, and there's always precision driving. Give me a sec. Come on, are you able to lock down?
One of them looks like it's ready. Yep. In fact, both of them look like they're ready. Very good. Nice.
Good lockdown. So the I'm not sure with all the power restraints you have at the moment. Maybe it's better to go back to go to space before and find some uranium. On the other hand, it could be a challenge to work that out. The Earth-like planet is just really unfriendly for mostly really big rovers. So I'm not sure. Now I'm thinking solve that, and I don't know. I would have to. It would be interesting to have a platform that maybe is relatively freely moving on top of something, on top of a chassis for the rover. But the risk of clang there is so high.
That's the other thing. It's like as soon as you add all those possible pistons and turning points, and the fact that you're moving preferably at a little bit of speed, because you don't want to take forever. It's it's an interesting concept.
Or maybe you have to scout out ways out of your valley that you have there.
There'll definitely have to be some pre-planning.
So, should we just sit down and talk a bit, or do you want to see anything else? Maybe.
Well, I did have a quick question for you. I can't remember who it was, but somebody had said that you know how you got the arches kind of going around the wheels on your big miner. I don't remember who it was. Someone had said they had problems with that, and I must admit I've never had that issue. So, is that something that you have had an issue with ever, or?
If you stay out of the hitbox of the wheel, I had some rovers where I tried to be too close to the hitbox, kind of, and then that is problematic. But here, I never had that. The arches are so big that nothing. The wheel has enough space in there. The hitbox is basically just a square box around the wheel, and if you stay away from that, then and wheels are forgiving, so I could go closer to that, but
I'm actually astonished at, so long as you land wheels down, how much punishment they can take.
Wheels. That's why some people did the whole thing with the wheels as landing gear, because landing gears for a long time had problems that they would explode in contact with the planet's surface and all that stuff, and wheels had a whole lot of strength and wouldn't just blow up. That's the weird thing. They sometimes they do. It's space engineers. We always have to say it's space engineers, but sometimes wheels have the problem that they explode and that they don't know do stuff that you don't want them to do. But since they did the whole rover update, wheels work really, really well. So I had the first rover I built on Mars in my last world, I think. That thing flipped and got completely dismantled by Clang really heavily because of wheels and because of pistons. And since then, I tend to lock down everything and tend to be careful with everything. But everything behaves so well now with the...
Yeah.
So, again, if you stay out of the hit, the arches shouldn't make problems. If you don't get too close. So if you have something rubbing against the wheel, that might make problems.
Because something I was working on recently, I was having to push the offset down quite a ways because of what I had done, and I probably will abandon it eventually, but it worked pretty well for what I wanted it to do anyway, so we'll see how that works out in the long term.
So the offset, you needed to bring the whole chassis closer to the ground?
Well, no, what it was you see how the wheels are attached to the axle right there? There's obviously a give point where you can offset it up or down that sliding bar almost.
That's what I do to lock this thing down.
Exactly, yeah. And so I just raised mine up all the way to where it was lifted way off the ground, and it kept the wheels away from the wells. So
yeah,
that seemed to work anyway.
That's basically what I do too. But these arches are big enough so that I could just bring the whole thing. The whole thing in, but that's one thing you can do. I tried in my last world. I tried to build a trike on Mars, and I tried to encase the small front wheels, into blocks. And
Gotcha.
the problem with that was that then, although I have turned off the steering for the wheels, they would constantly explode because there was too much contact with hitboxes.
Yeah.
But that got resolved, and I'm staying away from doing stuff like that. So most of the wheels I have are really open. Maybe the tank, the 6-wheel tank, that might have some relatively close setup wheels. We could take a look at that, but I'm not too sure. Again, if for me, Mars is planet. So every time I'm here, I'm trying to do something with wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, here I have the wheel set up
Oh yeah.
similar, but
Yep.
just stay out of everything, and then it should be good. One thing I warn from shoots you away from maybe is wheels and wheels driving on grids.
Oh, okay.
I would stay away from that, with at least with the big ones. I had this, you can see that here. I had this whole thing basically as set up as platform
Mm-hmm.
with blocks below the truck, below the rolling base. And
Mm-hmm.
the problem with that is that the wheels sometimes tend to, especially if you have a really heavy grid on the things, the wheels start to sink into the blocks, and that makes for excellent clang. If you're in search for clang, bring this thing on top of blocks, and then you have excellent clang, an excellent form of clang. And especially with this one, because I had this thing set up with torsion springs. So I used Whip's wheel script, where you could use wheels through subgrids, and then have set this thing up with torsion springs, and it was Clangville everywhere. And that's why I planed the whole thing. The whole ground here is level with the top of this wall.
Mm-hmm.
Another wheeled rover. Someone came up with the idea to just hang something in between the walls and then plane the whole thing. That's why I have these weird waves in here. I don't know if it shows up for you as hard as it shows up for me, but you have
Yeah, I can definitely see it.
These waves in the ground, because the whole thing here is planed to be a straight surface, so I can work on this truck if I want.
Mm-hmm.
I can prop up this truck and then have a level thing. That works out. We can go to the back. Another thing I found out relatively, that I always had the feeling that sensors didn't react to planets, but they do.
Huh.
It's a weird thing. But on the back I have these gate deer. Is Knight Rider something you know?
Yes.
The TV series. And I always wanted to have a truck that and so these I cannot open it right now, but these things in the back can
I
come
see.
down.
Yep.
And before I had them set up so that when the whole thing goes level, it would detect the ground and then turn off the pistons,
Mm-hmm.
drop the whole thing to the ground, so that I could I could deploy these things and have them loose on the rotor, so that they wouldn't how to explain that? If you bring them down and have them set to a specific angle, if you're on rough ground, you could end up with having these things not touching the ground, or touching the ground too much.
Right.
And that's why they loosen themselves and they just drop to the ground, and then they are loose. And I could even drive the thing with these things just hanging on the back. It's so sad. This rover deserves a bit more, or the rover deserves a bit of love, because it kind of had a hard life. It got completely destroyed after the first time I left Mars.
Oh no.
Clang completely ruined it. It had an arm on the side, something like Marm OS or MARM OS. You tested that out too, or?
Yeah, that's the first one I tried, and I got it to work, but only very slightly. I kind of ended up with a basic understanding of how it worked and could use it, but honestly, the setup for that, as awesome as it is, I think needs a bit of streamlining, which is why I really love Fant's one, because it does more or less the same thing, and it does it with almost no setup. You literally just have to rename things, and it's done.
Yeah. The difference between FunScript and Marm OS is that Marm OS can do a lot more and a lot cooler things.
See, I never got into any of that either. So.
And FunScript, I used it for a robot arm with drills on it, and that thing was really cool. You can, for example, you can with Marm OS you can set up pistons as the muscles in a robot arm.
Right.
So you could really make excavator arms that use pistons to move everything. But FunScript is so nice because it again, you said it doesn't need any setup. Just rename things and then you're done. Bring things into groups and then you're done. And it's so cool. And the thing is, I have these red arms I've set up to empty out my rovers and all that stuff. They are set up with Marm OS.
Okay.
M-ARM, I always say Marm OS, and I'm pretty sure that's wrong. But they're set up with that because it is relatively easy to set that up. If you have the script running, you for these things with 3 pistons, you just put in 3 lines into the code and then it works. So it's not that bad, but let me turn that on and then I can take a look. If again for this it is just does it work? Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
So for this it is just 3 lines added to the code and then this is no problem. But as soon as you go any crazier, then you're done for with Marm OS, because you need to set up length, how long is the arm you're moving, and how much space is in between the rotors, and how is your rotor oriented, and
that's where I tripped up. I as I said, I kind of got an understanding of how, but I got to a point where I was like, I don't know if I want to sit here and calculate this all this time.
Yeah. So should we go back to the ship? Should we go see something else? We have a bit more time, so maybe you want to see something else.
As I said, I'm relatively easy, so I could spend hours and hours looking around at everything. So
maybe we can't record that, but
no,
you're free to roam around. Again, as long as you don't set up any warheads for me, I promise I won't set up any more. How about that? Okay, that sounds good. Any more warheads? Good. No.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna go over here for a moment. Just you may or may not want to evacuate. It's up to you, but just I'll be over here if you need me.
Why? Okay. Now do I need to shoot you just because? Throw you out of the faction and let all my turrets handle that.
I say I can always go back to the spiders. They apparently accepted me when I first
first
spawned in.
Yeah, that's
they said
be gone.
They said that one of the nicest things I've ever had anyone say. They said, "You are delicious," and I was like, "Well, thank you. That's very kind."
That's very nice of you. That's Oh man. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a weird thing. I always talk for too long. The world is just something I'm very passionate about, and I don't know. It's a
It's
year-old world. It needs a
mhm.
lot of explaining. But on the other hand, I kind of want to talk about your stuff too. So that's the thing. But the thing is, you're so it's so nice because I don't know. Are you still under 10 or how many do you have now?
I think I'm up to 15.
15. Oh, that's so nice. You can
Early
just watch that
days.
in one evening. That's a really great thing. I'm always happy to see kind of that's my YouTube brain is not working the way it should, because usually I should just go in and say no, I don't want to have anything to do with all the other people doing space engineers, because I need to protect my views from everybody else.
Mm.
And I don't work that way. I always like to see kind of new people on the in the YouTube space engineers community, and especially if they don't know if I could don't know especially if they do something, if they put in the work.
Mm.
So there's a lot of new people with space engineers coming out of early access. A lot of people kind of jumped on that,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. There's a certain type of YouTuber I like to watch, and yeah, you are kind of you fit into that category. So it's nice to see someone else have other ideas for the game, and it's great to see how much creativity and how much ideas for space it is still there.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
it's what I enjoy about watching, various different people is the different perspectives, and so it is nice to be able to to see all these different ideas, and to see as well, like there's certain people who are particularly passionate about scripting, or there's people who are particularly passionate about building, or whatever it is, or some people who just absolutely adore combat, and so that's what they do. They go and set up new and interesting ways to fight different things. Whatever it is, there's always this sort of difference, and I love that mishmash of creative minds. It's that's what I enjoy about the whole thing, and I definitely think it could stand to see some more cooperative efforts, because it just is so fun to see what people can create when they all work together. I love that.
It's the cooperative effort is always you notice that today is that space engineers sometimes, when it comes to cooperative effort, is really iffy, and and the thing is that, especially if you take a look at the YouTube community, is that again, YouTube as a business demands certain things, and so the creative effort kind of goes out of the window, and the creative effort sometimes goes out of the window there. And personally, I would like to see the community kind of come together more. But it's again, it's all these numbers, the numbers game that YouTube brings with us. Again, we from the numbers, we are the whole collaborating there is kind of doesn't work out, because it again, I normally would have to take a look you doesn't do anything for me, so why? And that's the thing I don't like. I don't like to see the numbers and say, okay, that doesn't work out. I work really, don't know, I like to work with Ramethep, for example. Ramethep and I, we in Space Engineers, we work really well together. And again, if I would like to see more YouTube creators kind of around me that I would like to work with, and sometimes numbers are in the way there. That's why I don't know. I make an effort not to look at the numbers and say I want to do something with him or her, and it's don't know. It's another thing I'm very very passionate about. Where don't know. Space Engineers deserve so much more attention, especially because it kind of is made more for the so we. If don't know, if I take a look at my demographics, it's not the same demographic as Minecraft has, for example.
Right.
So, and I don't know. I would like to. I don't know. We all need to work more together and have discourse and share ideas and all that stuff. I'm very. Don't know. That's something I would really like to see. Yeah. Good.
Ah.
Well, don't please don't die now. That leads to just problems again. I like Mars. I need to come back here soon.
It is really cool.
It's so nice and quiet here. Could be because I've turned down all the sounds because of good. I'm the whole time I'm thinking about if I have anything more that I want to ask you. But the thing is, I think, and that's one thing I would like to immediately. There's a German phrase for that, but now I there's no good translation for it in English. I would really like to join your world at one. Maybe take a look what you have done there. That's the thing, because again, I like to see different ideas for things, and again, maybe don't know, maybe you have something to show and all that stuff. So we should keep that in mind, that we need to.
Well, the fortunate thing is too is I wouldn't have to bore you for too long, because there's not a whole lot to see at the moment, but yeah, I'd absolutely love to show you around.
But that's not the thing. Only because a world is smaller in that way doesn't mean there's show. Again, I Earth-like planet. If we would go there now, there's nothing to show there. So why? And that's the thing. Maybe your Earth-like planet has a lot more to show than mine has, and so it's not about showing. Again, I'm passionate about my world. I like it. That's a year old, but a small world with special projects and special things done is worth taking a look at, absolutely, as well. So it's not about the amount of stuff you have in the world. That's the thing. So the thing is that I try to come up with questions and come up with. I need to have a book where I write down and say, okay, I want to ask all these questions, but that's not fun. The most thing I always want to know is, did someone end up in Space Engineers? If she is a YouTuber, how did this come to be? Everything else is done while just running around and don't know, showing off what's there. The cool thing here is, again, you get to see my world with someone that doesn't watch my stuff. Then I'm not sure how interesting that would be.
It is kind of funny too. It's almost kind of surreal. I think I mentioned this to you the other day when we were initially chatting. And forgive me for getting sappy, but as being able to hang out with a YouTuber that I admire is really fun as it is, and just to see all this stuff, and again, not in real life because we're in a game, but just to actually to walk around it's really fun.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I would have that with your world too. I would take a look at your world and say, okay, I've seen that in the video. Now how is that structured when I can walk to the other side of the whole thing and don't see only the one perspective or something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always the interesting thing. For me, episodes like that are interesting because I have someone that maybe has questions about the world,
Mm-hmm.
and then someone that sees the world from a viewer's perspective, because I run in this world nearly every day, and a viewer maybe has other questions, and that's the same with your world. So a viewer would ask a question where you say, why is that interesting?
Right.
And for me, these episodes are always a way to kind of remind myself what I've done, and then give a bit of a world tour so that people that are new to the channel can kind of see what I have done already. Because someone that, I don't know, did watch the last 10 episodes didn't see this here, didn't
Mm-hmm.
see the alien planet, didn't see anything like that. So, and again, having someone that then maybe asks the right questions there is always nice. And again, the right questions and the interesting stuff doesn't come from the world is huge and I have bases on nearly every planet and I have, don't know, that's not the thing. If we would have talked about your piston setup, you wouldn't have said, So
Exactly. Yeah.
that's the thing. Perspective, good sir. As much as I don't want to do that, but I think we have come to an end where we maybe, again, maybe I prepare more for stuff like that. Maybe I really need to write down some questions and then ask all the right stuff with how old are you? How many children do you? That's, people don't, I don't know if people really want to know that, but maybe that's the thing that people can leave in the comments and say something about how what would they have asked.
It's actually amusing to me to see the different priorities in various comments. You know, what people see when they watch, what people think about when they watch, or what questions, like you said, what questions do they have in particular. And it's always interesting the sheer diversity that comes out of that, because it's never the same.
That's the cool thing. That's the cool thing having. So YouTube comments are always this whole. They are dangerous on one side, really helpful on the other side. And the good thing with the space engineers community is the space engineers community is really. So there's. I think we have a lot less spam and stuff like that in the community, and the people come always up with really good ideas. People don't know. I have people that I've one commenter that always see bigger guns in the world, and the thing for me is I don't have anything to shoot, so bringing in ever bigger guns is maybe something. I asked him today if don't know when will you be satisfied with, when is the gun big enough for you? And and that's good to hear. Someone that kind of wants to see stuff getting blown up. On the other side, there's people that say, I would like to take a look at that again. I would like to see more rovers, more drilling rigs, more miners, more things, more here and more there. That's the cool thing about doing the whole Space Engineers thing on YouTube. And I'm pretty sure at one point you will definitely see that too. That I'm not sure how many comments you regularly get on videos, and having people in the background that are not backseat gamers, but that are making, I'm that's one thing. I make the difference between backseat gamers and people that are getting involved, that people that come up with suggestions. Take a look at this, maybe this helps, maybe you could try this again. The we talked about that just a few minutes ago, the whole 2 weeks with the cargo problem and then the vector thrust minor problem.
Right.
People have so many great ideas. Sorry, so now
Just need to grab some energy.
yeah, there should be a. We could stay in here.
Oh.
I think this is air.
It actually wasn't that low. That was strange. Oh well.
This should be airtight here. And again, I'm pretty sure at one point you. No, you always do this. That's one thing you should keep up. That's from one YouTuber to another. Giving credit to your audience is a really good thing. And you always do this. Okay, thanks to these people and thanks to that person for saying that, because that's one thing I try to always do, is if someone has a good idea and comes up with something, say that. Don't let your audience down by just, don't know, giving off ideas as your own.
It's
someone says, and
yeah, it's one of those things, because quite apart from the ideas that people come up with, the biggest thing to me, and even just as short a time as I've had doing this, I've had moments already where I'm like, oh man, I'm so tired, and I don't know, if I can get this stuff done, but just going on and seeing somebody say, I really enjoyed this video, even that is such a boost to my desire to keep going. I said it before in my videos, you really have no idea what that means, and I can't explain it fully, because it's amazing the power that the actual audience has, and it's all thanks to them, and because
it's that's the good thing, but can also be a really bad thing, because at one point there will be the comment where you don't know, think about it, and then get dragged down by something like that. But on the other hand, you always have to see the overwhelming positive things that most of the time roll in. So I'm really happy to have more people around me that do this whole Space Engineers. I'm a real, don't know, again, that's you do, and I could let us just hard to explain. But again, you do good videos, and so that's why I kind of want to at least show you to my audience, and then hopefully some of my people decide that it is good to watch you too, maybe. And yeah, that's the thing about this whole thing here. I would like to talk to other people too. Again, the big dream is to just at one point do the same thing with Splitsy. That would be the big dream. Fulfillment at one point. But I'm not sure how easy that will be. Okay, I think we are for nearly 50 minutes now. Good. I think the next time we meet up in your world, and then I can be the one running around and saying, "What's this? What are you doing here?"
I can tell you whether your helmet's on or not, or if you're phased through a wall.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Maybe then you have to give me a lift from the alien planet. I'm stuck here, and there's spiders all around me. It's dark.
That might take a little while, because with nothing that can get me into space, you'll have to wait for me to build it.
It will take roughly 50 more episodes. Then, okay, I will wait. Good. Just that was really nice. Thanks for visiting me. For asking question and you're my constant rambling. So
thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, no problem. That's that was the plan of the whole thing. By the way, I could open that up. I'm switching through my signals, completely useless. Good. I would say thank you for visiting. I will hopefully to join your world at one point.
Absolutely.
And maybe we do that again at one point when there's more things to talk about. And people, I would say thanks for watching. Hope you liked the episode. If you did, then please leave a like on the video. Go and visit Josiah's channel. I will leave a link in the description. Next week, we will continue our scientific endeavors, and then we will see how that works out. Good people. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next video. See ya, guys. See ya, Josiah. Thanks for visiting. You can say goodbye.
Oh, goodbye. Sorry. Well, I hope you enjoyed the third and final episode of this little mini-series that we've been doing. We'll be resuming the regular Space Engineers on Sundays as per usual after this. If you haven't already gone to Rabenschild's channel, obviously please go ahead and go check out his perspective on this, because he released his own version of this already. And I hope you really enjoy it. Please like if you did, and comment to let me know what you thought. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon to make sure you get notified of new videos as they come out. And you all have a good one, and I'll see you on the other side.